सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। श्रीकृष्णः परमात्मने नमः। ओम्। श्लोका नंबर 13। सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन् न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः ज्ञानेन तु तदज्ञानं येषान्नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परम् तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानस्तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्त्यपुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैव श्वपाके च पण्डिताः समदर्शिनः इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य नोद्विजेत् प्राप्य चाप्रियं स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढः ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः। Okay, so we are seeing after the karma yoga part till the 12th shloka, Krishna Paramatma is now giving the jnana yoga from the 13th to 20th shloka, and there we have seen न कर्तृत्वं न कर्माणि लोकस्य सृजति प्रभुः न कर्मफल संयोगं स्वभावस्तु प्रवर्तते. So the person who has got this jnanam, that kartrutva bhava and karma phala, these both are not connected with that person. That means that individuality and I-ness is already more or less gone. And Swabhavastu pravartate, he sees that it is just the, what do you call, the pravritti, the prakriti which is working, guna guneshu vartante. They are just, karya karana sanghata is just happening. As we have seen in the 6th or 7th shloka, pashyan, shrinvan, sprishan, jigran, hands are doing its work, legs are doing its work, karya karana sanghata will happen. But I am not the doer. That kartrutva bhavam and karma phala bhavam both are not there. Okay. Now, nadatte, what is the outcome of that? Nadatte kasyachit papam na chaiva sukritam vibhuhu. So this vibhuhu, he knows this vibhuhu is Atma, nadatte kasyachit papam, cannot earn any papam or punyam. Okay, it is beyond all that. Then what is it which is making everything happen? Ajnanena avrutam jnanam. That wrong knowledge or incorrect knowledge that I am not the Atma, but I am a Sharira, I am a Jiva, and all this Jagat is there. Jiva, Jagat, all these are working, and there is a lot of transaction. That knowledge, where Dvaita Jnanam, Bheda Jnanam, I am different, the rest are different, the world is different, he is different, she is different, my Atma is different, your Atma is different. This Dvaita Jnanam, which is covering that Advaita Ajnanam, Advaita Jnanam, that Dvaita Ajnana Jnanam. Okay, that is why we cannot call it as Jnanam, but it is a knowledge or a feeling. So Ajnana Jnanam means Mithya Jnanam. That is covering the Satya Jnanam, which is Aham Atma Asmi, Aham Brahma Asmi. And with that delusion, the whole transaction in the world is just going on with that Kartrutva and Karma Phala Bhavam and Sukha Dukkham. Okay, that delusion is the biggest thing. Then what happens? Once you have this Jnanam, the moment that Ajnanam is, see, Jnanam is not coming in. Let's understand this. This Jnanam is already there. That Jnanam is covered by Ajnanam. So our effort is to remove this Ajnanam covering. And once the Ajnanam covering is removed, it is as though Jnanam has come. It is as though Jnanam has come. Okay. As when you go in a train, when the train starts from the platform, we get a feeling that we are stationary and the platform is moving the other way. Okay, that is a mithya jnanam which is there. Similarly, as this ajnanam is reduced, the jnanam gets prakashayati. Okay, that jnanam is adityavat prakashayati. It is as glowing like that of the sun, which is very evident. Hasta amalakavat, very very true. As जो मतलब दिख रहा है उसके लिए क्या बोलना है, जो है परोक्ष ज्ञानम, दैट अहम आत्मा, व्हेन इट इज नोन क्लियरली, देन अहम अनात्मा अज्ञानम goes off automatically. Okay, like when Karna was told he is a Kaunteya, then that ajnanam, that aham radheyaha, instantaneously goes off. He doesn't have to do sadhana. It immediately goes off. Okay, right. Then, how do you get this? There are 4 steps to it. Okay, and what is the benefit if you get it? What are the 4 steps? First is tat parayanaha, valuing that higher I, valuing that capital I, valuing that superior I is the first step. So far as we do not value it, we may know it. हाँ, मुझे आत्मा मालूम है, लेकिन वो सब बाद में देखेंगे. Get it? The moment we have a value for it, that I need this, then you will start putting effort for it. So tat parayanaha, that capital I, or that jnanam, superior jnanam, the spiritual knowledge, aham atma, natu aham anatma, that yearning should be there. To get that feeling of incompleteness in every moment, if it starts, then you start putting effort and searching where I can remove this problem. देखो, जब एक छोटा problem, if it is a small thing, you will just leave it. But if it is nagging you every day and every moment, then it has given a big value in your life. Then you start working to a solution towards it. तब तक वो ठीक है, अपने आप जाएगा, छोड़ दो उसको. हाँ हाँ हाँ. उसको जब तक वी वैल्यूएट कि हाँ ये सबसे बड़ा प्रॉब्लम मेरा ज़िंदगी में यही है, you will not put effort to overcome it. Once decided that this capital I, that spiritual knowledge, that jnanam is the highest and I need that, I am ready for doing anything for that jnanam. Like Kathopanishad, when Nachiketas goes to Yama, Yama says, I will give you 3 varam bradi shveti, 3 varams. 3 बोस आपको मैं दे देता हूँ, पूछ लो क्या चाहिए. तो पहला वाला ही आस एज यूजुअल दैट लेट माई फादर accept me and let his anger and everything go, so that when I go back he will accept me fully. Okay, tathastu. Second one, give me that karma by which if someone does, swarga is guaranteed, 100% guaranteed. So that's where the Nachiketas Agni, Nachiketam Agnin Chinvanaha, that Agni, that yajna is taught. Okay, Swargakamaschinvita. So that is the second one. The third one, he asked a question, you are Yamadharmaraja, what happens to me after death? Only you can tell me that. And this is what Yama did not want to tell. He tried to test this boy. First, बच्चा है तुम, छोड़ दो, वो ये, तुम्हें ये चाहिए क्या, लॉलीपॉप चाहिए क्या? He gave all those carrots. No. He said no. He says, see, only people of that wisdom can get it, that ability. So he immediately got, he said, if you know that only that person with that ability can get it, that means you know about it. Then what ability you are asking in me, so that I will be ready for it? Tell me. He said, no, do one thing. I will give you tons and tons of riches. Gadi, Bangla, Dagina, wo ye, your hundreds of, all your next generations will get Swarga. इससे ज़्यादा क्या? पूछ लो, जो मनता है पूछो, material stuff जो मनता है दे दूंगा, but ये छोड़ दो. You know what did Nachiketa say at that time? If you are valuing this knowledge higher than all the material which you want to give me, then why should I compromise for a lower value? I want only that. You can keep the riches with you. Are we able to get this? So unless that Dridha Nishchaya is there, that I want this by hook or crook, Bhagavan, Guru, everyone will succumb to that. जिद भी पकड़ना है तो कौन सा चीज का जिद? ऐसा चीज का जिद पकड़ना है, but that जिद will come only when we value. So tat parayanaha, tat buddhayaha. Now where to get it? You have no other place but to go to the Shastras. No other place but to go to a guru who can then teach this. So the proper scriptural learning, what is that? I know I need it, then I have to go to the source where I can get it. And I have to do everything to get this knowledge. Then there it is not, I want it this way, I want it that way, मुझे ये टाइम पे आया तो चलेगा क्या, 2 दिन बीच में बंक मारा तो चलेगा, no. If this is the only focus in my life, even you take my life chalega, but I will not leave this. That commitment. So tad buddhayaha. With that, what do one get? Tadatma. What is Tadatma? Satchidananda Atma Jnanam. Okay. That Atma Jnanam, Brahma Vidya, Atma Vidya is what one person gets. Through whom? Through the Guru. What does the Guru do? Shastra Darpana. Will reflect the Shastra Darpana to this person where his questions of Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, Bandhana, Moksha, everything starts getting answered. And then the person says, okay, now I understand Aham Brahmasmi. That Ajnana Nivaranam, and just getting that Jnanam is called Shravanam. But that Jnanam is Samshaya Sahita Jnanam. It is not Samshaya Rahita Jnanam. Okay, that Samshaya Sahita Jnanam, that Samshaya has to be done, Nivaranam has to be done, for which a lot of effort, where you use the buddhi and get clarification and conviction by mananam, the person gets it. So now I know Aham Brahma, I am convinced Aham Brahma Asmi. So no one else need to confuse me or need to convince me. I am fully convinced. I can convince anyone if they want to get convinced. I am very sure about it. Okay, just give me a second. Just give me a second. I'll just. Chollupa. Napa. Don't worry. Hari Om, can you all just continue chanting? Just continue chanting. I'll come. I need about 5 minutes. Yeah. Chant loudly so that one person just unmute and chant. Anywhere, 5th chapter, whatever, or 4th chapter, doesn't matter. Just chant. You continue. Yoga yukto vishuddhatma. Continue.
कर्मफलं त्यक्त्वा शान्तिमाप्नोति नैष्ठिकीम् अयुक्तः कामकारेण फले सक्तो निबध्यते सर्वकर्माणि मनसा सन्न्यस्यास्ते सुखं वशी नवद्वारे पुरे देहि नैव कुर्वन्न कारयन्.
Okay, good, thank you. Right. So, once this samshaya is gone, then whatever jnanam is there, that jnanam is with conviction. Asandigdha jnanam it is called. Sandigdha means doubtful. Asandigdha means doubtless knowledge. Okay, that doubtless knowledge you get it by manana. See, understand one thing, that all this Shravanam and Mananam, where is it happening? It is happening at the buddhi, through which it is going. It is going through the manas into the buddhi, and then we are getting a conviction, because it's all a rational, logical understanding. There is no emotion part to it. Okay, it is not the mind playing anything. It is not fooling ourselves, aisa kuch hai bolke, and then brainwashing ourselves. No. It is convincing that yes, it is there, and why it needs to be there, these are the reasons. Why something else is not there, these are the reasons. I am very clearly convinced that all situations, this is the fact. And this is the only fact. Perfectly, the intellect is conditioned fully. The memory is being replaced from ajnanam to jnanam. But what do you do about the manas? The manas has got a habitual practice. Don't forget that. How much ever we are knowledgeable, how much ever we do, we have a particular nature of ours, and that nature requires a lot of effort to internalize this book knowledge to myself. As examples, we say, when we go to a new place and you want to switch on the light, your hand will go to the same wall where in your house the switch is. It will not go to the new place. You have opened the house, you know very clearly you are in the new place, but your hand will go somewhere else. Same way, that habitual practices which are there, habitual way of looking at the world, habitual way, I have a knowledge, but that doesn't go so easily, for which a lot of individual effort is required. Here there is no guru or anyone required. The guru is required only to show you the path. Now here it is getting yourself every time reminded about this knowledge. Okay, which means when you come to this class, you have worn the specs to see life with Vedanta. But the moment the class is over, that specs is removed, and then we put another specs where we look at it as a transaction. Right? Slowly, we start increasing this changing of specs. Till one day, the specs at all time will be a Vedantic specs, an Upanishadic specs, but transaction will continue. Transaction doesn't stop. I detach myself with the transaction, but I always look at it that way. Now, for that, we have to know what is this Atma knowledge, because even now, for many of us, we say that Atma, my Atma, which is easy and convincing to most of us today. I the Atma or my Atma?
I the Atma.
Sure? Huh? Because this is where we are actually faking it and making it. When you say,
It is my Atma.
it's a very natural thing that whenever we say my, because that Atma is not clearly understood. If Atma is clearly understood as I the Atma, then nothing is required. Even this class is not required. Right? Uttirni cha pare pare naukaya kim prayojanam. If I have already gone to the other side of the river, why do I need the boat again? I should drop the boat and go ahead, right? Then if I know very clearly I the Atma, then you should never come to the class, or not this class, any class. Because it is not required. It is redundant. The fact that we are coming to the class is to understand still better what I know. To understand still better means I have not understood it properly. Okay. Now, this Atma Jnanam, when we say, here last time I had mentioned that we will take one particular text, which is Nirvana Shatkam, and understand what Atma is. We will go shloka by shloka, very topically the meaning, because then it starts connecting. What is required at that time is introspect whether I see it differently or I see it similar. मनोबुद्ध्यहंकार चित्तानि नाहम न च श्रोत्र जिह्वे न च घ्राण नेत्रे न च व्योम भूमिर्न तेजो न वायुश्चिदानंद रूप शिवोहम शिवोहम. ओके, मनः बुद्धिः अहंकारः चित्तः चत्वारि अंतःकरणानि. न अहम, आई एम नॉट दैट. न च श्रोत्र जिह्वे न च घ्राण नेत्रे. न च श्रोत्र जिह्वे न च घ्राण, न च श्रोत्र न च घ्राण तर्हि नेत्रे. तर्हि अहम न ज्ञानेन्द्रियाणि, अहम न तु कर्मेन्द्रियाणि. आई एम नॉट द ज्ञानेन्द्रियास, आई एम नॉट द कर्मेन्द्रियास. देन व्हाट? न च व्योम भूमिर्न तेजो न वायुः. What are the causes for getting this Jnanendriya and Karmendriyas and Chatvari Antakarana? If I am not the effect, then am I the cause? What is the cause? आकाशस्य सात्विकांशात् आकाशस्य राजसांशात् वायोः राजसांशात् वायोः सात्विकांशात्. Okay, so the Satvikamsha and Rajasamsha of the Pancha Mahabhutas, am I that? That means, am I the Pancha Mahabhutas? No. I am very sure I am not the Sharira. That is okay. So I just leave that Panchikaranam. But at least am I the Sukshma Pancha Mahabhutas? No. Then what am I? Chidananda Rupaha Shivoham Shivoham. Satchit Ananda Rupaha. Chidananda Rupaha means Sat Chit Ananda Rupaha Shivaha Aham Shivaha Aham. Nacha Prana Samjne Navai Panchavayuhu. What is Prana Samjna? And what is Panchavayu? Prana Samjna is our complete, all the nadis. Correct? And Panchavayu are Prana Apana Vyana Udana Samana. Nava Saptadhatuhu Nava Panchakoshaha. What is Saptadhatuhu? What is Saptadhatu? Anyone?
Sir, bone marrow, muscle.
What is that? So,
uh,
Twak Charma Rudiramam Samedo Majja Snayavoस्थि. Twak Charma Mamsa Rudhira Meda Majja Snayu Asti. Twak Charma Mamsa Rudhira Medo Majja Snayu Asti. Okay. If you remove Asti, at least the 7 together are Sapta Dhatuhu. Okay. Nacha Panchakoshaha. Panchakoshaha. The 5 existences. Yeah. When we say sheet, it is correct. But my 5 personalities. Because I that is more meaningful to this discussion. They are sheets, of course. But the moment you say sheet, it is layer after layer we imagine. But then my 5 personalities come out in 5 different ways. As Sthula Sharira, as your Manomaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha, Anandamaya Kosha. Okay. It is subtlety which makes it go inner and deep. The more subtle it is, the more pervasion it has got. Utna vyapti hai uska. My Anandamaya Kosha is the subtlest, but has got the maximum vyapti compared to my Annamaya Kosha. Akasha has got the maximum vyapti compared to Prithvi. Akasha is the subtlest, Prithvi is the grossest. Okay, then Name Dvesha Ragau, Name Lobha Mohau, Mado Naiva, Me Naiva Matsarya Bhavaha. Name Dvesha Ragau, Raga Dvesha. Huh?
Sir, one line.
Also, Na Vakpani Padau. Again, Na Vak, Na Panihi, Na Padau, Na Cha Upastha Payuhu. I am not Vak Pani Pada Payu Upastha. That means Karmendriyani. Naham Karmendriyani. Then who am I? Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. So the first one, if you look at it, it is Jnanendriya related and Antakarana. Second one is related to Karmendriya and energy which are sought by the Karmendriyas, which is the Prana Samjna Panchavayuhu Saptadhatuhu Panchakoshaha, through which actions happen. Clear? Name Dvesha Rago, Name Lobha Moho, Mado Naiva, Me Naiva Matsarya Bhavaha. Dvesha Ragaha. What is Ragaha? It is not Hindustani Raga.
Attachment.
No, Raga is not attachment.
Asakti.
Desire.
Asakti.
Desire. Ragaha is desire. Basic first is desire. Intense desire becomes attachment. Ragaha equal to Kamaha. Okay. Then when kamaha becomes intense, then I don't want to lose it. When I lose it, I get angry, which is dveshaha. Security, protection, holding it up. Okay. Na me dvesha ragaha, na me lobha mohaha. Moha is delusion. Lobha is greed. So, first is kamaha. Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhavaha mahashano mahapapma vidyehamiha vairinam. Then that further gets grossified. To what? Lobhaha. Then I have extended it more than me to my possessions, and then I want to protect that also. Okay. Once lobhaha comes, a very natural aspect of it is mohaha. What is moha?
Delusion.
Correct. What is delusion?
When we see right as wrong and wrong as right.
Avivekaha. Correct. Right? So now I start putting so much of effort to protect that wrong thing which I have considered to be right. So I'll go to any extent to hold on to it, which is called moha. When I do that, बोलते हैं ना अंधा हो जाते, मोह में अंधा हो जाना, इतना मोह हो जाना कि भाई मोह में अंधा हो गए, and that becomes madaha. Madaha मतलब you have lost all your viveka buddhi, ability to discriminate. You have completely lost. Okay. And then you, once it starts, then you have labeled everyone, and matsarya bhavana comes. Jealousy, matsarya, and talking ill, everything starts. But if matsarya has to come in the mouth, with respect to that, madaha has already come. Don't consider that after jealousy only I will get deluded. No. Jealousy is an outcome, manifestation of madaha. Jealousy is a manifestation of moha. Okay. So the Shadripu, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, they are in a proper sequence. First Kamaha, that converts to Krodhaha, then it moves to Lobhaha, Mohaha, Madaha, Matsarya. Which means if there is a Matsarya Bhava in any of the aspect in us, we very easily say, "Na, I can't stand this person, I can't sit this person." What do you mean by that? That means that much of, what do you call, a very firm, determinant position I have taken based on that person, that I am not ready to change it at any cost. Because that doesn't do harm to that person, it does harm only to us. That position only tells that I am so, what do you call, I am so inflexible. I am adamant. I don't want to look any other way. Even if someone tries to tell, no, it is not, no, you don't know about it. So you start justifying it further. That will further firm it up. Are you getting it? So this is a, like, it has already become so much of a deep rooted viral problem कि उसको अभी सिंपल दवा से नहीं ठीक होएगा, इसको ऑपरेशन ही करना पड़ेगा. Major surgery is required. Okay. So Matsarya Bhava. Now, na dharmo na cha artha na kamaha na mokshaha. Dharmartha kama moksha chaturvida phala purushartha aham nasti. Aham chidananda rupaha shivaha aham shivaha. Is it clear? So only when we say I am not this, I am not this, don't say it implies and I mean it. No, you have to tell every day, you have to tell, and it should come in my mouth, oh, I am not that. Then somewhere in your thought and actions, it will start coming. Otherwise, by itself, it's not going to happen. Okay, then when Purushartha is there, karma happens. And with karma, you get karma phalam. And the karma phalam is na punyam na papam. Manifestation of karma phalam is na saukhyam na dukkham. Why did I say manifestation of karma phalam? Na punyam, na papam, na saukhyam, na dukkham. What is the difference in this?
Punyam is there, Sukham will be there.
When punyam fructifies, sukham will be there. So what is the difference between punyam and sukham? Papam and dukkham. Punyam is not the karma what we do. Punyam is the karma phala of what we have done. Then what is the difference between sukham and punyam?
Manifestation of karma phala.
Huh?
Manifestation of karma phala.
When you say manifestation of karma phala, that means what is karma phala first? In which form? Sorry, come again. In which form it is? No. But manifestation, if you say sukham is manifestation of punyam, then punyam is in which form?
Sthula.
No.
Punyam is sukshma and sukham is we get it in our body. Like
Can you say sthula? Can you use the word sthula here? Not sthula. See, when you start, that is why I say that we understand the topic, but when you start expressing it with words, that is the time we know that, oh, I haven't got it clearly. Something is बीच में अटक रहा है अभी. संदिग्ध ज्ञानम, असंदिग्ध ज्ञानम. So don't use the word sthula. Punyam and papam are adrishtam. Sukham and dukkham are drishtam. This is what you wanted to say, right?
yes.
Adrishtam, drishtam, you have to use the word here. So na punyam na papam, naham adrishta phalam, na saukhyam na dukkham, naham drishta phalam. Then what are the ways to get punyam? Na mantro, na tirtho, na veda, na yajnaha. Aham na mantraha, na tirthaha. I am not attained by mantras. I am not attained by kayika karma, which is tirthas. Na vedaha, na yajnaha. Okay. Am I the mantras? No. Am I sought by the mantras? No. Is this correct? Okay, mantra also still I chalo. Na Vedaha. If it says I am not the Vedas also, then there is a problem. Vedas are one of the pramana. Do you agree? It comes under what pramana?
Shastra.
Shastra pramana. And here, I am not that Shastra pramana also it says. Then how will this knowledge come? Do you all agree that Atma is not the Vedas? Or Atma cannot be understood by the Vedas? I'll make that a little more very specific here. Atma cannot be understood by the Vedas. Is this correct or wrong? Bolo. It is Atma cannot be understood. So Atma can be understood by the Vedas is correct. Okay. How many people agree to this? Is there any one person not agreeing to this? Let us go that way.
Definitely, but that definitely also explained to the Vedas only.
Correct. Correct. Yes, that is perfectly right. The question is Atma understood by the Vedas?
No. No.
No. Why do you say Atma is not understood by the Vedas?
आत्मा को न आत्मा को न देखा जा सकता है न अनुभव कर सकते हैं ना कुछ भी तो उसको जान नहीं सकते ना हो सकते हैं आत्मा को न जान सकते न देख सकते बस हुआ जा सकता है ना कि हाँ
हुआ जा सकता है. The moment you say हुआ जा सकता है is now you have got time. आपने काल को बीच में लेके आए. होना.
ये सब हाँ
त्रिकाले अबाधितः.
Sir, only a higher knowledge can understand a lower level of knowledge. So if we say Vedas understand Atma, then that means the Vedas will have the prime position in terms of all the knowledge, which is actually what it's trying to say is that Atma is the ultimate knowledge. So it becomes
one minute. Atma is ultimate knowledge or Atma knowledge is the ultimate knowledge? Be clear on words, sir. आत्मज्ञानं सर्वश्रेष्ठज्ञानः अथवा आत्मा सर्वश्रेष्ठज्ञानः ज्ञानम्.
From a knowledge perspective, Atma is actually beyond knowledge also. So when you talk of knowledge, Atma knowledge is the ultimate knowledge, but that limits itself to the Vedas. So Atma is beyond that.
Why do you say Atma is beyond that?
Sir, it is experiential. We cannot know by any outside. Like it is experiential. So to know Atma, we have to experience it. We have to.
Atma is experiential.
जो वेदों में जो है वो दूसरे का अनुभव है हमें तो अपने आप जानना है वो उसका एक्सपीरियंस है ठीक है उन्होंने बताया कि हाँ उनकी अनुभूति से उन्होंने जाना कि हाँ ये जो भी है जगत जो भी है वो सब मिथ्या है पर ये जो भी है उसको तो शास्त्रों को हमें मानना ही पड़ेगा पर वो आत्मा तो नहीं है ना वो तो सिर्फ एक्सप्रेस करने का एक जरिया है
आत्मज्ञान
अभी जैसे अभी हम गीता पढ़ रहे हैं या जो भी पढ़ रहे हैं वो तो किसी का अनुभव है ना हमारा नहीं है तो जो उसको नकार नहीं सकते हम कि हाँ वो कुछ नहीं है पर वो आत्मा तो नहीं है.
तो आप एक मिनट आप दो स्टेटमेंट बता रहे हैं इसमें. वेदों में या जो भगवत गीता बोले वो दूसरे का अनुभूति है, दूसरे का अनुभव है, हमारा नहीं है। फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट,
हाँ नहीं।
ठीक है। हमें जब खुद का अनुभव होगा तभी तो आत्मा हमारा बोल सकते हैं।
नहीं हमारा ऐसा बोल नहीं सकते, बस है कोई एक सुप्रीम है, जो भी है पता है।
कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? दैट मीन्स ये अंधाधुंध, दिस इज अ ब्लाइंड फेथ।
ब्लाइंड फेथ नहीं, मतलब हम लोग उसको नकारात्मक में बोलते हैं ना कि ये नहीं ये नहीं ये नहीं, यानी कि जो बच गया है, जो देख रहा है या जो समझ रहा है वो एक्चुअली जाना जाता है उस बुद्धि से, जो बुद्धि भी मैं नहीं हूँ, लेकिन कुछ है ना जो कि जिससे जाना जा रहा है, जिससे समझा जा रहा है, तो जो बच गया वो
चलिए एक स्पेसिफिक, वेरी स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ। आत्मा सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः अथवा आत्मज्ञान सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः?
आत्मा सर्व प्रमाण
तर आत्मा
आत्मज्ञानः आत्मज्ञानः सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः?
हाँ, आत्मज्ञान ही सर्व है ना, कि जब तक ज्ञान ही नहीं होएगा, पहले तो बौद्धिक ही होगा। बौद्धिक
एक मिनट, अगोचर का मीनिंग आपको मालूम है?
नहीं मालूम।
हाँ, तो पहला वो सेंटेंस का मीनिंग समझने के बाद आप बोलिए।
ओके।
अगोचरः कैन नॉट बी रीच्ड, सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः आत्मा, करेक्ट। व्हाट इज द अनदर नेम फॉर सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः?
अपरोक्ष
नो, अप्रमेयः। सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः अप्रमेयः आत्मा, करेक्ट। ओके। आत्मज्ञानः सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः? कौन सा प्रमाण से मालूम पड़ेगा फिर?
नहीं वो आप बराबर बोल रहे हैं कि आत्मज्ञान हुआ, मतलब पहले तो ज्ञान ही चाहिए, सुनना श्रवण मनन जो भी है।
एक मिनट मैडम, मैं स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ। जो क्वेश्चन समझ रहे दे आर नॉट एबल टू आंसर, आई नो दैट, लेट देम आंसर इट। जो क्वेश्चन नहीं समझे वो बाद में देखेंगे, जिन्होंने क्वेश्चन समझा है वो पहला आंसर कीजिए। आत्मा सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः अप्रमेयः आत्मा, इज दिस वेरी क्लियर? आत्मज्ञानः सर्व प्रमाण अगोचरः?
नो सर, आत्मज्ञान कैन बी गेन्ड
By what?
नो सर, शास्त्र
This is what we have to be clear. Atmajnanam shastra pramanena gocharaha. If shastram cannot teach you atmajnanam, the method it uses to teach is negating anatma. Please understand, Shastra uses a peculiar method to give atmajnanam by negating all the anatma. Why? All the anatma can be easily negated because they are all pramana gocharaha. Are you able to get this point? A very, very technical and a subtle point. Normally, we mix up Atma and Atma Jnana. Atma sarva pramana agocharaha. Many a times we are told and we know aprameyaha. Pratyaksha anumana upamana arthapatti anupalabdhi shastra pramanaha sarve agocharaha. With all these pramanas cannot transfer the knowledge of Atma or cannot comprehend what Atma is. Correct? Because a person can never see his own eye by himself. A camera can never be a part of the photograph. Okay. Atma Jnanam is a knowledge. Atma Jnanam is an object. Atma Jnanam is an object. Atma is not the object. What is Atma? What is Atma? If Atma is not the object. Exactly. Do you need someone to tell you about yourself? You, the subject, do you need someone to tell you about you? You already know. There is no question of someone telling you about that, teaching you about that. But Atma Jnanam is an object. I, the subject, with my buddhi, understand Atma Jnanam as an object through a vehicle called Shastra Pramanam, shown by the teacher through a mirror. In knowing that Atma Jnanam, how do I know I have got this Atma Jnanam? When I have understood Atma. The process of transferring Atma Jnanam from the scripture to me is what the teacher is doing. Correct? The method used by the scripture is by negating Anatma. I can easily understand Anatma and negate it because I always use that phrase called my. Whatever is connected with my, I can easily negate it. My hands, different than me. My bag, my Sthula Sharira, my Sukshma Sharira, my. So whenever that my is used, I can easily negate it. It's an objectified stuff. Are you getting it? So my buddhi, using the Shastra Pramana, transfers the Shastram of Atma Jnanam through the Guru into me, and I do that discrimination part. No, ye nahi ye, ye nahi ye, ye nahi ye. Then I myself know that there is something remaining in that. What does that mean? If I removed everything, if someone is in a room and say this room is empty, you go to a room and then you call me. I ask who is there in that room? No sir, the room is empty. The obvious question is, you are there. How did you forget yourself? The room is empty. How did you tell? Because you are there. Are you able to get that? That I don't have to tell that you are there. It is evident, self-evident to you that you are there. So by negating everything, you yourself make it self-evident to yourself that I am there, which was always there. Okay. That Atma, the subject, is Sarva Pramana Agocharaha, but that knowledge is an object and hence can come through Shastra Pramana. Is this clear? Are you all further confused?
No, sir, it's clear.
Clear? Okay. So Atma is the subject and subject cannot be transferred by any medium. Everything else other than the subject is an object, out of which Atma Jnanam, the knowledge of Atma, is not Atma. Brahma Jnanam Brahmanasti, but Brahma with Brahmasti. Brahmavida apnoti param. Brahmavit, the one who has the knowledge of Brahman, is Brahman himself. Because what is that knowledge? Aham Brahmasmi is the knowledge. Are you able to get that? One who has the knowledge is the subject, not the object. The knowledge is the object. समझ में आ रहा है? Clearly getting it? So don't confuse between Atma by itself, manifestation of things that Atma is there, effect that Atma is there, knowledge that Atma is there, Atma knowledge, whatever is a object. But I, the subject, is connected to the knowledge. So I am Sarva Pramana Agocharaha, but not the object. Atma Jnanam is an object. Is it clear? Okay. Because these issues will come. The more we go into subtlety, these issues will come. In a big, gross way of understanding Anatma, Atma, it is very easy. But when we come to that subtle part of further getting fine-tuning, such questions will have to come. Will have to come. Is it clear? Okay. Let us go to the next then. न पुण्यम न पापम न सौख्यम न दुखम न मंत्रो न तीर्थ न वेदा न यज्ञाः. With all the other, there is a purpose of doing it and there is a benefit coming out of it. Veda, mantraha, tirthaha, yajnaha. Okay. Mananat trayate iti mantraha, which is Upasana Kanda. Tirthaha is Karma Kanda. Correct? Yajnaha is Karma Kanda. Vedaha is Karma Kanda. Okay. Now he goes to further. These are all very classified information, but go to the very basic stuff. Na bhojanam naiva bhojyam na bhokta. Bhojanam. I am not. Bhokta is the person who is eating. Bhokta. Bhojyam. Bhojanam karoti. The eater is eating that which is edible. Bhojyam is edible. And neither the food nor the eater or the enjoyer of the food nor the action of being eaten. Why such a thing has to be told? Please understand, this particular, see, the earlier statement was very clear. Why is this triads being bought now? Who is the Bhokta here? Who is the Bhokta here? Go by subject, object and process. Who is the subject here? Na bhojanam, na bhojyam, na bhokta. Who is the subject here?
Atma.
Hey, who is the subject here in this? Na bhojanam, na bhoktam, na bhojyam, na bhokta. Bhokta is the subject. What is the object? Bhojanam. What is the process?
Bhojyam.
Correct? Okay. The object is bhojyam. Bhojanam is the process. Dhyanam, dhyata, dhyeya. Bhojyam, the one that can be eaten. Bhojanam, the process of being eaten. Okay. So we have a subject, object, and a process. And we said that the subject is Bhokta. Correct? Atma is the subject. Any doubt? Atma is the subject, na? So Atma equal to Bhokta. हाँ? सब यस 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 बोलते हैं, एक टाइम आए तो सब लोग ना 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 बोलते हैं, ये क्यों? ये क्या नेक एक्सरसाइज चालू है क्या? पहले ऐसा 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 करो, एक टाइम आएगा तो सब ऐसा ऐसा चालू हो जाते हैं. आत्मा इज द भोक्ता ना.
Reference changes, no?
Why? What reference changes? I am the subject. I am the eater.
Sir, I am not the food, not the enjoyer. I am not that. So Atma is not that.
Huh? But Bhokta is the subject, right? Is Bhokta equal to subject?
In this context.
Yes. Atma equal to subject
Yes.
in every context. So Atma equal to Bhokta. No. Correct? A equal to B, B equal to C. Very true, but A is not equal to C. ये कैसा हो गया? हाँ, तो वही क्या गड़बड़ क्या है पूछ रहा हूँ मैं.
In transactional,
Atma, so that Atma which is Bhokta here is the capital I. It's not the individual I.
सोच के बोलो. Think and say. Atma, which is the Bhokta, is
Small RC.
no, don't ask me.
RC.
No, what is RC? ऐसा वो हवे में बोल के छोड़ो मत. Make a full statement.
Atma के subject is OC.
Atma is OC, ठीक है. But bring all the, see, you have to bring these words into the context. Then you should tell what it is. Why Bhokta is not equal to Atma? चलो basic question वही है. हाँ? No, you are telling cannot be an Atma. If you are so sure it cannot be an Atma, then you have to tell why it is not an Atma.
आत्मा ना करता है ना भोगता है.
तो हम जो पट्टी पढ़ाए आप सीख लिए. आत्मा जो सिर्फ पट्टी पढ़ाया वही सीखता है. Exactly.
Atma is reflective consciousness. So
आत्मा इज रिफ्लेक्टेड कॉन्शियसनेस. सोच के बोलना. देखो. हाँ, भोक्ता इज नॉट आत्मा. वो छोटा बच्चा जिद कर भोक्ता इज नॉट आत्मा. आई एम भोक्ता इज नॉट, आई एम भोक्ता इज, वो नहीं सुनना है मुझे. वाई भोक्ता इज नॉट आत्मा? इवन आई एम ऑल्सो टेलिंग भोक्ता इज नॉट आत्मा. मतलब यहाँ दोनों दूसरा पार्टी है ही नहीं, सब एक ही पार्टी वाले. भोक्ता इज नॉट आत्मा. व्हाट? भोक्ता इज द सब्जेक्ट, भोज्यम इज द ऑब्जेक्ट, भोजनम इज द प्रोसेस. चलो ये तीनों छोड़ो, साइड पे छोड़ो, मारो गोली. ध्याता, ध्यान, ध्येय, ये तो तुम लोग को अच्छा से मालूम है, सब योगा वाले. ध्याता इज द सब्जेक्ट और नॉट? बाकी दो को तो साइड पे छोड़ो, वो तो ऑलरेडी हमने उनको अलग कर ही दिया है. ध्यान और ध्येय मालूम है पक्का वो सब्जेक्ट नहीं है, तो उसको साइड पे कर दो. ध्याता इज द सब्जेक्ट, आत्मा इज द सब्जेक्ट. So Atma is the Dhyata. Similarly, Atma is the Bhokta, which all of us say no. Question is why? Logically, you have to come to a proper conclusion.
Here the subject is related to anatma, not atma. Bhokta.
Subject is related to Anatma, not Atma. Why that Bhokta doesn't have an Atma? I am further complicating it.
Atma does not get involved.
Atma does not get involved. वही बोल रहे हैं ना, ये सब पट्टी पढ़ाया हुआ चीज बता रहे हो मेरे को. Few of the points in the periphery you all are touching, but you all are not able to connect it and give a proper. This has to be logically proven.
भोजन जो वो पदार्थ बोल सकते हैं उसको, और खा रहा है वो तो कर्म कर रहा है ना, तो कर्म भी जो भोगता है वो न कर्म कर रहा है न पदार्थ है,
Correct.
ऐसा बोल सकते हैं.
तो भोक्ता क्या है? भोक्ता तो सब्जेक्ट है.
हाँ,
आत्मा भी सब्जेक्ट है.
हाँ,
तो
लेकिन
आत्मा भोक्ता है नहीं?
नहीं भोगता है वो.
क्यों? अरे ये तो पागलपदी है. एक टाइप पे बोलते हैं ये सब्जेक्ट है, ये सब्जेक्ट है, इसलिए मैं दोनों जोड़ देता हूँ, बोलते वो नहीं है.
नहीं, अभी आप बोल रहे सब्जेक्ट है इसके लिए ना, हो सकता.
अगर मैं गलत बोल रहा हूँ,
हाँ,
3 स्टेटमेंट मैंने बताए, उसमें एक गलत है, मैं भी मानता हूँ, तो गलती निकालिए.
Sir, Atma here is the Jivatma which is the Bhokta. But the Paramatma is not the Bhokta, it's the Jivatma which is the Bhokta.
Atma is Jivatma which is the Bhokta. Atma is not the Paramatma which is not the Bhokta. लेकिन यहाँ पे तो we have not bought any Jiva, Parama, nothing is into the picture.
Same thing, the small I, which is the Jivatma, is the Bhokta. And the capital I, which is the Paramatma, is not the Bhokta. He is something different than all this Bhokta and the one who is eating or one who is doing the action of eating or experiencing eating. He is completely different. The Paramatma is different.
So that Paramatma is a different entity, Jivatma is a different entity.
Yes, sir.
They don't have any connection.
They do have the.
What is the connection?
The Paramatma is the witnesser, just the witnesser, but the Bhokta is the
Enjoyer.
Jivatma, the small I.
Enjoyer.
Yeah, the enjoyer.
बट ये दोनों का मतलब 2 सेपरेट हो गए ना यार. एक विटनेस कर रहा है, दूसरा एंजॉय कर रहा है, 2 अलग हो गए, दोनों का संबंध ही नहीं है.
It is for our mental understanding that we separate them.
हाँ, otherwise they both are same.
Yeah, if you see.
Wait, complete. Continue this argument. It is for our mental understanding they both are different, otherwise both are same. That means Jivatma is equal to?
Paramatma.
Is it? Is it? If Jivatma equal to Paramatma, then Jivatma is Sukha Dukkha, है कि नहीं?
जो हो रहा है ना वो
एक मिनट. I am just completing her statement. Let her understand. उन्होंने कुछ बताया है. If Jivatma equal to Paramatma, then Jivatma को सुख दुख है, पुण्य पाप है कि नहीं?
है.
परमात्मा को भी होना पड़ेगा फिर.
Paramatma, again, for our understanding, we just say that he is just the sakshi, just the witnesser. And it is not you who is seeing dukkha and sukha.
Make it more logical, na? मतलब you are not able to convince. You are telling a point, but you are not able to convince why? Because you are not bringing a relationship between both of this. See, what happens is, when you give an example, understand this, when you give an example, two things are required. It's a must. Then only it can come as an example. There has to be a simile between the aspect what you want to say. अगर एक एग्जाम्पल बोले तो वो एग्जाम्पल और कॉन्सेप्ट में देयर हैज टू बी अ सिमिली. एक ही बात होना जरूरी है. एंड देयर हैज टू बी समथिंग विच इज डिसिमिलर. तब जाके आप एग्जाम्पल बोल सकते हो. अगर पूरा सिमिलर है देन बोथ आर वन ना, then it's not an example, it is another name for the same thing. समझ में आ रहा है? So if you are telling जीवात्मा परमात्मा, आप एक एग्जाम्पल दे रहे हो, either you are telling जीवात्मा is 100% equal to परमात्मा, दोनों सेम है, then it is not an example. Then all attributes of जीवात्मा should be superimposed on परमात्मा. If you say that is not true, then जीवात्मा is not equal to परमात्मा, then Jivatma and Paramatma should have a similarity, and Jivatma and Paramatma should have a difference.
So the sheet of Agyan is the difference.
Huh?
Sir, Agyan. When
Agyan?
Jivatma is covered with Agyan.
Hey, तुम you don't bring a third. देखो already दो विलन बैठा है. तुम तीसरा विलन को अंदर क्यों लेके आते हो जिसका जरूरत ही नहीं है. दो विलन बैठे हैं, वो समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. और ये दो विलन समझ में नहीं आना है, ये अज्ञान है. जो तीसरा विलन ऑलरेडी बैठा है. Are we able to get this? See, okay, come to the point now. I asked the question, Bhojanam, Bhokta, Bhojya. One is the process, one is the object, the other is the subject. Bhokta is the subject. Atma is the subject. So Atma equal to Bhokta. And the answer is no. What changed this? You know what changed? Always, first question when it comes to spirituality is, you have to shift your specs. इतना याद रखो. अगर हम स्पेक्स चेंज नहीं कर रहे, देखने का दृष्टिकोण चेंज नहीं कर रहे, तो हम एक ही दृष्टिकोण से अगर दो चीज देख रहे, देन वी आर गोइंग टू मेस इट अप. परमात्मा और आत्मा इज द एब्सोल्यूट सब्जेक्ट इन पारमार्थिक दृष्टि. In Vyavaharika Drishti, you have all this Bhokta, Dhyata, Karta, all the tasks. So, I am coming to Vyavahara Drishti. In Vyavahara Drishti, when I say subject, object and the process, there are three discrete objects. When looked from Paramarthika Drishti. From Atma's view, even this Bhokta is an object, because he is Atma with a superimposed stuff. Reflected hai wo. Are you able to get this? When you go to Paramarthika Drishti, there is only one subject, the rest everything is object. In Vyavahara, we can have different subjects, different objects, different processes. Within the same framework, you can compare and equate. Across framework, you can never do it, and you should never do it. So the question should be, sir, are you referring from Paramarthika Drishti or Vyavaharika Drishti? If this question is asked, then automatically there is clarity that what you are wanting to say. Because I mixed it up and gave it to you. देखो, ये श्रवणम का बात नहीं, यही मननम का बात है. Are you able to get? Mananam comes only with tarka, with discussion. Tarka doesn't mean debate. Uha, tarka uhe. The word in Sanskrit is uha. Constructive discussion is tarka. putting different viewpoint and taking it to a logical conclusion is tarka. Debate and pulling down someone is vada or vitanda vada. Okay, tarka is perfectly okay. It should be there. In sadhana panchakam it will come. Dustarkat suviramyatam Shrutimatastarko nusandhiyatam. Shrutimatastarkaha anusandhiyatam. We should have a tarka. Then we understand different views and then we align to that. Okay, so here the question was not on what is really the subject. Even if someone says that actually that bhokta is not the subject, bhokta is the object here, still you will get full marks. Because from Paramarthika Drishti, bhokta is also a reflected one only, which is an object. Bhokta is reflected consciousness. Only Atma is OC. The rest, everything is RC. Every RC is an object. Let it be jnanam, let it be process, let it be whichever thing you talk. Manifested, unmanifested, sukshma sharira, karana sharira, everything is an object. Is it clear? Is this a bit convincing? Okay, if not clear, is it convincing? If it's convincing, then it's clear. If it is not convincing, let me know.
Sir, but person who behaves only in practical knowledge, how would you convince him about the Paramatma or
I don't need
Atma?
to convince him.
Answer. Then the argument or the discussion closes, sir, if you can't convince them.
No, then if someone is going to be only from that perspective that there is, like, take for example Charvaka. Charvaka is a clear example of it. सामने जो है वो है, बाकी कुछ नहीं है. Whatever I experience and perceive is there. There's nothing is there. अभी दिन है, अमेरिका में रात है. I don't know. अमेरिका में रात, I don't know. नहीं है, क्योंकि मुझे दिन दिख रहा है अभी. खत्म. What do you tell the person? तथास्तु. So be it.
Okay.
Come to that level and say agree and move out. Don't waste your time. Because they need not be convinced. Dunya
So
ko,
then when I said it is only for our intellect that we do the separification of Atma and Paramatma, this is as per practical knowledge, so that you, for your understanding in practical knowledge, you separate these two entities. Otherwise, it's the same. It's one and the same. If you see only through practical knowledge, the Vyavaharik Jnana.
when we are only saying practical jnana is there or practical vyavahara is only there, then even jiva doesn't be there. We'll have to give up many of the things. Jiva, Ishvara, karma, karma phala, sukha, dukkha, give up everything. Because you are involving something which is an unseen and there is a cause effect to that, an unmanifested which has got a cause effect. That is why you come out with dharma and adharma and something called a jiva. Otherwise you are prakrita purusha, like an animal. And an animal, for that animal, that intellect is not evolved. Or the animal, whatever is there, samne hai. Right? That choice to be there in that state is yours. But because you have taken a choice to be in that state, doesn't mean the others should continue that way. The problem with, for many of the things, when questions are asked by that rational person, they will get stuck. Because you will have to go to something which is unseen, unknown, and give it a rational logic and move ahead. Otherwise, the intellect will not develop and go to the next state.
Okay.
Right? अभी जो बोला कि मैं इधर बैठा हूँ फर्स्ट फ्लोर में, there is nothing called second floor, there is nothing called 10th floor, there is nothing called flying over on an aeroplane. right? If someone says that, fair enough. But it's only when you go to the aeroplane, you know, there are so many floors below.
True.
Correct? तो थोड़ा उधर जाने का प्रयत्न करेंगे तब जाके, if you want to discuss, you can discuss only with those people. Like for example, this class has been for many years now. There had been 80, 90 people and all. After 2 classes, they said, "Arey, ये सब अपना बात नहीं, छोड़ दो." They have left. With all respects to them, perfectly okay, because they are convinced in the state of affairs in which they are there. And we respect it and leave it there.
Okay.
The fact that we are continuing and we are continuing to study is we have agreed and valued that there is beyond something the transactional which we see.
Yes, sir.
Then,
So, but coming to this question again, then if you say the question was also wrong, not put correctly,
of course, there
what
are
is not concluding?
no, there are many questions which are wrong, which normally are asked, and the answer for that is there is no right answer for a wrong question.
Okay, that makes sense.
In many of these Vedantic points, it will come like this: a wrong question will be asked, and everyone will break their head to give a right answer. And the answer to that is there is no right answer for a wrong question. You prove the question is wrong and you close the chapter there.
Okay,
That itself says there is clarity.
got it, sir, got it.
The moment we value that the question is right and we start proving it, that only says that our knowledge is wrong now.
Okay. Got it, sir.
It's a practical test on ourselves. Are we getting the point clearly or not? And that is why such confusion type of questions are asked. And typically when you sit and speak to people, you will see, even on spirituality, you will see there are different frameworks, and then the argument continues. Here there is no solution for these things. Because if you try to solve it, you are wasting your time, because there is no problem at all to solve. You have to just dissolve it, leave it off.
Correct.
उसमें मतलब ही नहीं है. Like for example, just to give you a very, very, very stupid example, someone who is drunk and sitting and arguing, तुम उसको बैठ के नहीं ऐसा नहीं, भगवद गीता में ऐसा बोला है, ये करो वो करो बोलना, is waste of time or meaningful?
Waste of time.
When it will be meaningful? When that person first comes to senses.
Very true.
Then I should try. Correct. So some things it is better done to drop it. Drop it like a hot potato, and आपको आराम से relax हो जाओगे. अरे ये क्या question है, मतलब ही नहीं है ये question का, because question ही गलत है. That question गलत है बोलने के लिए there has to be an inner conviction of the knowledge. That itself is the testing of the knowledge.
Got it, sir.
Perfect. It's like someone says ना एग्जाम में आया तो आउट ऑफ पोर्शन एक क्वेश्चन है, विच इम्प्लाइज व्हाट, ये बंदे ने अटेंड किया है और उसको पोर्शन क्या है मालूम है कि नहीं? It only implies that वैसा we have the knowledge. समझने के लिए some of these wrong questions have to be disposed of that way.
Okay.
I will give you another one classic example, and it's an example which has actually happened, and we'll all sit and smile, we'll laugh at it, but that's what is needed there. If you actually sit aside and look at it, it's a perfect thing which the person has done, you will see, and that's where wisdom comes out. It's not whether I've done it correct or wrong. What needs to be done there, if I've done, you're wise. Whether it is correct or wrong is the next question. Huh? I'll tell you. Sringeri Shankaracharya, who is currently our Bharatiya Tirtha Swami. So he now is very old, so he doesn't now meet people and all. He is a lot into Nididhyasana only, a lot of things he is doing internally. He is still there, of course. His next successor, Vidushekharendra, is also there, Acharya. Now, Swami Omkarananda has told this to us. When he was alive and when he was taking the classes, he has himself told us this. He had a, he had a very good acquaintance with the Swamiji, and he used to go to Sringeri in between and all. And typically after the puja, जब लोग लाइन में खड़ा रह के नमस्कार करने आते, so this Acharya used to give तीर्थ, और लोग ऐसे ही नमस्कार करेंगे. अब अभी तीर्थ देते रहना है, जो भी कोई ऐसा कुछ ये करेगा, नमस्कार करेगा, कुछ फल देगा, ये देगा, बोलते रहेगा. So it's a very very, बोले तो क्या बोलते हैं, it's a very mundane job. अकल वकल लगाना नहीं, चलते रहते, like चलो भाई आगे बढ़ो types. So they simply, if someone is there where they want to spend little time, they end up talking. So he told Swami Omkarananda, sit with me. He says, no, you take care of your disciples. He says, no, you sit, let us talk. And they were just doing some charcha on some Shastra related or some topic. They were just talking and he was mechanically giving this. One person comes to do namaskar. He says, Acharya, yesterday you came to my dream. And in that dream, you gave me a powerful mantra of Kartik Swami or Murugan. You gave me a powerful mantra of Murugan and Kartik Swami, and you said that you chant this, everything will be okay. It is so nice of you, Acharya. You came to my dream and you blessed me. The problem is, it was my dream, so I forgot the mantra. Can you just tell me again what the mantra is? Because सब लोग हंस रहे. That person very genuinely asked. And so was Swami Omkarananda looking now what this person is going to answer. He simply said, Om Sharavana Bhava, go, just chant this. Om Sharavana Bhava is what I told you, chant this. Any rational person will say, what a stupidity, right? Please understand, the person who has come and asked the question that you had come to my dream in a waking state and asking the answer of what would have happened in his dream, how will this Acharya know? But if you tell him, no, it was your dream, you have already woken up, I was anyway awake, so I could not come to actually your dream, what will happen? He will lose the faith on doing something which is good. श्रद्धा नहीं, अंधश्रद्धा है, लेकिन वो भी तो चाहिए. अंधश्रद्धा ही श्रद्धा बनता है.
उसका मन रखने के लिए.
Exactly. So it is not correct or wrong. It is what needs to be done at that time. And quickly in 30 seconds he disposed the person. He is also happy. The others who were hearing had a nice laugh. Heartily, mani man hase. This person is happy. वो अपना दुनिया में खुश है. For him, what Swamiji said is like God's given words. For other rational people, this whole thing is a foolishness. Are you able to see this is what happens many a times? Huh? So only when we sit and look at it as frames, we understand who is in which framework. Otherwise, we get pulled and entangled into it. And then we fight over frameworks rather than the topic. The problem shifts to frameworks. Your frame is right or my framework is right. Then there is no answer to it. Like there is a typical issue which Dvaitas and Advaitas will have. Dvaita is only correct. Advaita will say, no, it is. But when you actually learn it properly, they are two different frameworks. And both can coexist. Why not? Are we getting it? This is a part of that learning. That it's a very important, because unless we know that infrastructure of this Atma, that it has to be in Paramarthika and we should not, because the next shloka is actually referring to that. And if this discussion has happened, I have achieved the purpose of taking the Nirvana shortcut. Because we've understood what it is now. Otherwise, we'll be in apna dhunki mein rehge, ye hai bol ke. Right? The next shloka only gives a meaning if you know this part. Because the next shloka is what? Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shuni chaiva shvapakena pandita shuni chaiva shvapake cha pandita samadarshinaha. Samadarshinaha, to understand, we have to understand this. What is Samadarshi? We should not mistake it wrongly, which we will see it in the next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, sir. धन्यवाद.
हरि ओम.
धन्यवाद.
हरि ओम.